Tell me more about your business. What do you guys do? And how did you actually start this? Like, how did this all come about? And how long have you been doing this for? Tell me, what does a typical day look like here? What's your goal with the business? Where do you see it going? And what led you to kind of now decide to start to franchise your business? Why is this a good industry, a good segment for an investor to invest in? And who do you think a good franchise candidate would be good for this type of business? If I'm a franchisee, how can you support me in actually getting my location up and running? What type of support or insights can you provide a franchisee? All right, you want to introduce yourself, please?
I'm Asif Shaquille.
Tell me more about your business. What do you guys do?
So we're a bike shop that focuses only on electric bikes. We sell them, we service them, we repair them. Most of the bike shops in our area here in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area are bike shops with a small selection of electric bikes. What makes us different is that's all we do, electric bikes. We don't work on scooters, we don't work on electric dirt bikes, we don't work on analog bikes. So that's our specialty, is electric bikes. So we're here to serve the e-bike community in the DC area.
And how did you actually start this? Like, how did this all come about?
It started off from a bad experience. Buying an e-bike online like several years ago, I found that it was just a terrible way to buy bikes because I couldn't test ride it and it was just hard to return and it was just terrible after sales support. So one day I found a problem on the bike and I couldn't take it to any place to get it repaired. I called around, everybody said they don't work on electric bikes. I did find a place eventually in Maryland, but had to drive all the way out there. After that, I just saw there's like a gap in the market. There's a need for an e-bike focused shop, and that's what I did.
And how long have you been doing this for?
It's a little over 3 years now.
Tell me, what does a typical day look like here?
Every day is busy here. Like I said, we're one of the, few shops that are doing this, so people are coming from far away. We sell a lot of different brands, so we attract a lot of different types of riders, and it's just every single day is busy here, actually, especially the weekends.
What's your goal with the business? Where do you see it going?
I see it expanding to other areas where we can also serve their e-bike communities, because I know this is a common problem just by a lot of people that are coming from even different states. A few people came from Pennsylvania and North Carolina, and that's what they told us. There's nobody in our area.
Now you're looking to grow through franchising. And what led you to kind of now decide to start to franchise your business?
Clearly that's the best way, where I'm not in charge of the day-to-day operations of each shop, and that will allow me to focus on just finding, investors and entrepreneurs of their local market and letting them run it while I give them the know-how.
Why is this a good industry, a good segment for an investor to invest in?
It's new, first of all, and it's rapidly growing. And there's all this talk about climate change and traffic congestion. So this, solves a lot of problems, not only for people who just want to get out and ride that haven't ridden in 20 years, but it allows people to commute in urban areas like Arlington, DC, Alexandria, where they don't need a car. They can use a trail system, and that will help everybody by, reducing the traffic congestion, less stress on the infrastructure, less emissions. So it's a win-win-win situation for everybody.
And who do you think a good franchise candidate would be good for this type of business?
I don't know if there's just one type, but somebody like me, somebody who loves bikes, somebody who loves being outside, who's business-minded and wants to make a positive change.
If I'm a franchisee, how can you support me in actually getting my location up and running? Like the operations, logistics, getting the launch going, finding the right location. What type of support or insights can you provide a franchisee?
I think we can do everything for them, all the hard work, let's put it that way. We'll do all the legwork, all the hard work, and we'll just basically give them a running business that already has a good reputation and an online presence. So hopefully they'll be getting customers from day one.
Well, this is definitely a great industry to, really that's booming, and, there's a lot of great opportunity out there. So I would love to kind of dive deeper into what were you doing before you started this franchise? What was that other life look like?
So I was in the automotive industry before. I ran repair shops for about 25 years and across small car dealership for 5 years, where I was selling and servicing cars. So what I've done is just after I retired from there, I bought an e-bike for recreation, for pleasure, and that's when I realized the gap in the market. So I just basically took all my knowledge and skills and translated into the e-bike industry. So I'm doing the same thing that I was doing there, but just with bicycles now.
Wow. And even before that, you were at the gas stations, and you've been a business owner for, for a while now, right? And you've done a lot.
Yeah, about 30 years of it, small business ownership and training managers and basically trying to, grow and succeed in small business for 30 years now.
30 years of small business ownership, you've learned a lot, and you've come through a great journey, and that rich insights, now packaging that into a franchise of building a good infrastructure for a franchise model is, huge with all that, because a lot of founders, it's the first time business owner and they package a franchise concept, but they never even ran a business before. So having that rich history of running multiple different types of businesses really gives you a good seasonality of how to really build a good infrastructure. And you talked about a little bit earlier the importance of your support. Why is supporting your franchisees, that's something personally you're so passionate about?
So about 20 years ago, I learned a really important lesson from a franchise called Quiznos, where they were giving Subway a run for their money. But it turned out that the Quizno franchisors were not giving the best support to their franchisees, and that's kind of why they fizzled and no longer around today. So the lesson that I learned from that is giving your franchisees excellent support is critical to the equation. Basically, everybody will succeed if the franchisees are succeeding. So I made it a point that I'm going to be the opposite of Quiznos and give my franchisees the absolute best support, whether it's learning how to repair a bike or helping to choose a good location or training a manager, whatever that may be.
I love that. That's well said, because a lot of franchisees, the reason they don't succeed is because of the lack of support and the fact that, it's so important, and for the founder of the brand really prioritize having great support for their franchisees, so now they can really scale. Those are the franchise concepts that are durable long term, not just a short term gain. Let's just go sell, but I'm playing the long game. And when we see founders like that, that's a great sign of you're getting into. And that's why a lot of franchisees, they buy into the founder, not necessarily just the brand. It's a mutual understanding. Well, who's the founder? What's their vision? How they plan on running this business? And it's so refreshing to see founders that have that as a priority, and that's great. That's just going to make your infrastructure that much stronger. Congratulations on now launching your franchise and getting things going, and we're definitely excited to see this becoming the next big brand nationwide. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Barry.
Do you want to franchise your business and take it to a whole new level? Click the link below to schedule a free consultation today.